What's up? Quazi here, and today I want to share with you a very short video because my mouth is kind of hurting, and I think it's because of my wisdom teeth that are coming in from this side, but guess I'm getting wiser. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about labeling your thoughts and emotions and how that's hindering you from achieving spiritual enlightenment, if you will. Now, before I begin, I want to share with you that once you label your thoughts and your emotions, what happens is these thoughts and these emotions actually take on the characteristics of the label you're placing on it. So let's say you have a job interview and you're feeling a little nervous, or you're feeling fear. See, I'm labeling it myself now. But let's say you feel those feelings in your stomach or your solar plexus area, wherever in your body those feelings manifest, the ones that resemble fear and nervousness. And if you get those feelings and you immediately label this feeling as fear or nervousness, then it becomes worse to the point where it actually takes on the characteristics of the fear, of the nervousness. Okay, so basically thoughts and your emotions work like this. Once you have a thought, it leads back to the core emotion that actually produces that thought. So every single thought can be linked to its emotion, and the emotion is a bodily response to the thoughts. So once you start accessing the thoughts, then whatever you hid in your subconscious, however you feel about that thought, or however you however you feel about that thought is basically hidden in your subconscious. A thought is something that's produced to you by your external stimulus. So the data we collect in our everyday lives, that's what produces our thoughts. Thoughts are just that. They're just thoughts. They have no charge. There are no positive thoughts. There are no negative thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. Once you start judging your thoughts, that's when you get into big trouble. Emotions, on the other hand, are just bodily feelings that you accumulate throughout your subconscious, throughout your life, how you've been conditioned. And basically it's a survival mechanism, but since we're not in primitive times, we can actually overcome the survival instinct because we're not getting chased by dinosaurs every day and actually get into thriving mode. So a lot of the emotions that we harbor in our subconscious are programmed from our primitive days, and we don't really need them anymore. So thoughts are data and emotions are something that you collected throughout your life. So basically, once you have a thought, every single thought can be traced back to the bodily emotion that it produces. So emotions are a bodily reaction to your thoughts. So sometimes you'll find that whenever you think about that job interview you've been dreading, once you think about it, it produces a bodily response immediately. So you'll find that whenever you think a thought, it can be immediately linked back to an emotion that you feel in your body. So it can be linked back to a feeling. And once you have that thought, let's say you're nervous about your job interview, and that nervousness is somewhere in your subconscious because you've harbored some feelings throughout your life about it. And once you have that thought, you'll see that that thought manifests itself as a feeling in your body. Let's say you're nervous about your job interview and you think about the job interview, and the very thought of it produces a feeling in your body. Now, the thought itself does not have a charge, but because it's linked to the emotion that you felt and the feelings that you've collected in your subconscious body throughout your whole life, it produces a feeling that manifests somewhere in your body. And it basically is a sign that there is some negative feeling that you need to let go of. Now, once you have that feeling in your body, what happens is you start to label it. And you call it fear, you call it nervousness, and once you label this thought that leads to a feeling, then that thought becomes a thought of fear or a thought of nervousness. So I feel fear about my job interview, when it just manifests itself as a feeling in your body. And once you attribute fear and the label of fear to that thought, then that thought actually takes the form of fear itself. So it takes all the characteristics of fear that you've experienced in all other areas of your life, and it basically becomes that. So you basically start the feedback loop of hell. In order to let go of this labeling, what I ask you to do is, once you have that thought that produces a feeling in your body, instead of labeling it, feel into it. And what I mean by that is just let the feeling in your body be. Identify where in the body that feeling occurs, and just feel into it. And how you feel into it is you just let it be and you breathe into it. So you take a deep breath wherever in your body it is, and you just experience the feeling wherever in the body it is. So take a deep breath into the spot where the feeling occurs. So let's say the feeling occurs in my chest. I'm gonna imagine every single, when I take a breath, every single energy from the universe just coming in on the in-breath and exhale it out into the world. And that's how you basically successfully let go of any negative feelings that you harbor in your thoughts. So to recap, if you have a thought that leads to a feeling in your body, don't label it, instead feel into it. Take a deep breath into it and exhale it out into the world. And that's how you don't label thoughts and just let the feeling be as it is. Because once you label a thought, then you label it as fear, let's say, it takes on all the characteristics of fear that you felt in your whole life. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it helped. If you like this kind of content, like, comment, and subscribe. And I've also created a new Facebook group for people who set their own goals and want to collectively achieve something together. Till next time.